Why do Republicans want me to go hungry? My dad has been out of work because this rich Republican sent his job to China. We need his unemployment and most senators want to give it to him, but Republicans are blocking a vote to let my dad keep us in our home. I thought that they said they were the pro-family party. Dad said that he will never vote Republican again.
As part of Republicans' election year strategy to obstruct at any cost, Senate Republicans once again blocked an extension of unemployment insurance benefits. The extension is part of the jobs bill that could help put the unemployed back to work. Republicans don't seem to care about working Americans who barely make enough to live on. These conservatives should try giving up their mansions, yachts, and chauffeur-driven limousines, and try living on what the common person makes. Harry Reid is beside himself that Republicans could be so arrogant and selfish.
We've heard enough here today about unemployment compensation. These are real people. These aren't numbers. These are people. This is Bob and Mary and Jane and Dave who are desperate for these little checks they get every week. And so we have mayors, we have governors who have spoken out, but the Republicans have turned a deaf ear.
Well, this just tells all of us who the Republicans really are. More than a million Americans will have lost their unemployment insurance by the end of this month. And the righties just don't care. It's all about the money. But even if the bill had passed, it would not have helped the 99ers, folks who have already exhausted their unemployment benefits and have been out of work for more than 99 weeks. A group of 99ers wrote a letter to the President of the United States and have been trying to get an elected officials in Congress to deliver it directly to the President. They have been told it's hopeless. Well, I promised that I would not let this issue go. And if no elected official is going to step up and give these folks a voice, I guess I have to. Mr. President, the 99ers are begging. I've been out on the road. I've talked to them. They are begging for help. And I'm asking you tonight to do something executively. Make it a big issue and step forward. And if the Republicans won't do it, paint it for who they are and what they're doing to Americans who have been outsourced and are now stuck with this predicament. I mean, people are losing their homes because they lost their job. And remember, this is the worst economy since the 30s. But the Republicans, oh no, it's all about the money. Heck, they're trying to negotiate tax breaks again for the top 2%.
The Republican Senate has a lot of explaining to give to those millions of Americans who counted on unemployment to live. Republicans have rejected numerous attempts to pass an unemployment extension. They make a lot of excuses for what is nothing more than an attempt to derail the Obama administration. They have said publicly that they want America to fail under the Democratic leadership, and who pays for their arrogant attitudes? The very Americans who pay those Republicans' salary. They have the nerve to tell the unemployed to just get a job, as if they haven't been trying. So, here is a dose of reality. There are 5 unemployed workers for every job opening, and with an unemployment rate of near 10%, there are at least 15 million people out of work, so these Republicans should have a little more compassion.
Although the Obama administration no longer uses the phrase stimulus, it does support spending $35 billion to extend benefits for the nation's unemployed and $50 billion to aid the states. From an economic perspective, this is really a good way to stimulate the economy and avoid the chances of a double-dip recession. There is a good chance that the economy growth will soften in the second half of the year and fall into another recession if we don't do something now. The government should spend about $100 billion on a second stimulus package to get the economy past these obstacles. The 2 most useful forms would be extended unemployment insurance benefits and aid to state governments, because these would both be effective from a bang-for-the-buck perspective. You get a lot of stimulus dollars spent, and the money also gets into the economy quickly.
Paul Krugman, Nobel Prize-winning economist, dispels the Republican propaganda that strangely now worries about the deficit. Here's a simple axiom: spend now, while the economy remains depressed, save later, once it has recovered. How hard is that to understand? Right now, we have a severely depressed economy, and that depressed economy is inflicting long-run damage. Every year that goes by with extremely high unemployment increases the chance that many of the long-term unemployed will never come back to the workforce and become a permanent underclass. Penny pinching at a time like this isn't just cruel, it endangers the nation's future. And it doesn't even do much to reduce our future debt burden, because stinting on spending now threatens the economic recovery, and with it the hope for rising revenues.
Spending $1 on extending unemployment benefits produces more of an increase in GDP than the same dollar spent on tax cuts. If you cut the income of a citizen, then they will cut back on their spending, and that weighs on economic growth. The government also should commit to a long-term spending plan costing hundreds of billions or even trillions of dollars to address the country's infrastructure needs. All of those things use material that has to be produced, which means it creates jobs, or it creates new opportunities for people, where it creates employment as well. The answer is, if you want to cut unemployment, create jobs. If you are worried about the deficit, then raise taxes on the rich. Don't just roll back the Bush tax cuts, roll back the Reagan cuts and get the economy going.
President Obama's stimulus program had created or saved more than 800,000 jobs as of May. The facts are that improving the infrastructure will multiply throughout the economy, but that is the last thing that Republicans want. Each time Senate Democratic leaders have brought up an extension or a stimulus package to create jobs, Republicans have delayed and blocked the bill. The House passed its jobs bill with an unemployment extension just before Memorial Day, but the Senate left town for vacation and didn't act on the bill. As a result, some 1 million workers who have been out of work for more than a year have no unemployment, with the incredibly insensitive and out-of-touch attitude of Republicans who are hiding behind deficit hysteria, even though 3/4 of voters say extending unemployment insurance is more important than reducing the deficit.
With the Recovery Act, health, and now Wall Street reform, the extreme right has fought all the way. Their chants about the deficit are nothing more than spin. They didn't care about the budget when Bush and the Republican Congress spent money like a drunken sailor. They never asked, where's the money coming from, when they gave billions of tax dollars to their rich friends. Now they stand in the way of extending unemployment. But then they have always opposed unemployment insurance, minimum wage, and labor laws. The Republican Party has never been a friend to the working American. They would rather take from those who have little to spare and give it to those who have so much they are at a loss to know what to do with it. The Republican Party would turn old veterans out onto the streets, tell mothers with their children to starve, and tell the elderly that if they have outlived their money, they have outlived their lives. It was this same Republican Party's cold-heartedness that gave us the Great Depression and almost did it again. It is about time that that party started being responsible.
Come on, Republicans have a heart.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming forth to carry me home, a band of angels coming after me, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing carry me home. Tell all my friends I'm coming to, coming for to carry me home. Swing more, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing more, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I'm sometimes up, I'm sometimes down, coming for to carry